Another day and another judge who is trying to tell Donald Trump how to run his administration and the country. And this time, it is actually a Trump-appointed judge. These judges, let me tell you, I believe in legal checks and balances, but when you see the amount of pushback and flack from judges with Donald Trump's administration versus the past administrations, it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely weaponization. And this time, it throws it all into question. Donald Trump, sometimes his appointees are a little bit off the mark. And in this case, it appears like it is, because we need more deportations, not less. Okay. We need more, not less. How is it that illegal aliens, when they come in here, they can come in here by the millions? I mean, like almost unchecked. But when we send them out, all of a sudden there is this waterfall, this avalanche of lawsuits, of judges defending illegal aliens, defending these people who are not citizens of the United States. Our leaders, our judges, politicians seem to be way more concerned about non-citizens than they are about their own citizens, caring about our own safety. But Trump-appointed judge orders administration. They are ordering the administration to return second deported migrant. I wonder how Donald Trump is going to respond to this one. So they want Donald Trump to go to, I think this one's from El Salvador as well. They want him to go to El Salvador and kidnap another El Salvadorian citizen, bring him back to the United States. How hilarious is that? A second U.S. judge in Maryland ordered the Trump administration to return another man who was deported from the United States to El Salvador last month under the Alien Enemies Act, the latest case in a high-profile legal battle playing out in federal courts across the country. These are Donald Trump's ops. These are his main ops. The Democrats, they know they can't do much, so they called their second in command there, the judges. And I don't know what these judges are getting out of it, because these judges are for sure politicized. I used to think way back in the day, politicians, senators, representatives, these people, they play politics. But when it comes down to brass tacks, the judges, those are the ones that follow the law because they have to explain X, Y, and Z. And then now you look at some of these cases, and what really red-pilled me on these the courts, the judges, was when they went after Donald Trump and following some of those cases very closely and realizing how much of a lie it is that the courts are not politicized. They are just as politicized as anything else. And that's the sad part, because they are supposed to follow the law, and they just don't. U.S. District Judge Stephanie Gallagher, a Trump appointee. Let's take a look at Stephanie Gallagher here. Do we have a picture? Stephanie Gallagher. I don't see one. I do not see a picture of U.S. District Judge Stephanie Gallagher. Let's do this. Let's do a quick Google search. Let's do that, and let's paste it in here. U.S. District Judge Stephanie Gallagher. Let's go to images. This is her. Stephanie Gallagher. Boom. A woman judge. She is the one that is ordering Donald Trump to return this man, this illegal immigrant. But she ordered him on Wednesday. She ruled that the Trump administration violated a settlement agreement DHS reached last year with a group of young asylum seekers when it deported a 20-year-old man referred to in court filings as Christian to El Salvador last month. He was part of a group of migrants who had entered the U.S. illegally as unaccompanied children and who later filed asylum claims to remain in the United States. DHS agreed to the settlement that it would refrain from deporting any of the individuals in the class until their asylum claims could be fully adjudicated by the U.S. courts, which could take decades. The backlog of these asylum cases is insane and astronomical. We need to wipe the slate clean and say, listen, you're illegal. You came to the United States illegally. You are using this asylum thing not the way it was intended. So I'm sorry. If you're going to abuse the system, You got to get out. You got to go. Gallagher ruled that the government breached that agreement when it deported Christian, a member of the class, and ordered that they return him to the United States. So we've already talked about this kind of stuff. What happens when a judge orders a sitting United States president to return an illegal immigrant? Well, this illegal immigrant is in El Salvador now, his home country. What is the president supposed to do? Send the military to go get this guy? So wait, the judges are the one pulling the strings on foreign policy now? It's a totally ridiculous argument, and it just makes these judges. I don't know. I don't even know how to what even to say about this. It just blows my mind that these judges have the hubris where they think that they can order the president of the United States to return someone who is not a citizen to the United States when he is in his home country where he should be, yet they believe that they have the power or something. Are they doing this for political reasons? Maybe it's a combination of both. Hubris, political reasons, headlines. Oh, Donald Trump once again is not obeying a court order. But when you inspect that court order, it's just like you're trying to write foreign policy for a sitting U.S. president. How does that make any sense? What do you want the president to do? Send a special forces team into El Salvador and extract this guy by helicopter? You can ask Nayib Bukele, hey, Bukele, will you release this man? Nope. Okay, sorry. We're going to have to send in the United States Marines, the military, because a judge told me I had to. Is that what they expect him to do? Her ruling also alluded to the deportation of Obregon Garcia, an alleged MS-13 gang member. Funny enough, alleged here. Yeah, I guess you can say he's alleged, but I mean, then you would have to say anything's alleged. Okay, I mean, 2 courts and the Maryland police gang unit said he was a MS-13 gang member. Is there a possibility that he's not? I'm sure. I mean, anything's possible. But we're about as sure as we can be that this guy is an MS-13 gang member, other than him just saying it himself or observing him with MS-13 and their rituals or whatever. However, they get someone to come into the gang. You know, they do those initiations. maybe that's what they want as proof that this guy is an MS-13 gang member. We have to observe the initiation of Obregon Garcia into MS-13. In order for it not to be alleged anymore, in order for it to be definitive proof. I guess that's what we have to have. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what they expect as far as proof. In response to this, Gallagher specifically tasked the Trump administration in a ruling with, quote, making a good faith request to the government of El Salvador and to release Christian to U.S. custody for transport back to the United States to await the adjudication of his asylum application on the merits by USCIS. The Trump administration, meanwhile, told the court it had determined that Christian was eligible for removal under the Aliens Enemies Act because he had been arrested and convicted for cocaine possession earlier this year. Interesting. So not only was he illegal, but he was a criminal. He's spreading drugs around the United States. You know, I mean, first off, if you're an illegal, you should go, okay? You already broke the law. You came in illegally. But second off, you're selling drugs? That's like strikes 2 and 3. You're already on your 1 strike. I mean, that should be enough to deport them. But if you're selling drugs, that's like, 1,000 more strikes. You're out of here. They told the court that his designation as an alien enemy pursuant to the Alien Enemies Act results in him ceasing to be a member of the class that had negotiated a settlement. That agreement did not appear to hold water with Gallagher, who ordered the government not to remove any other members of the class until their asylum claims are properly adjudicated. Quote, therefore, under the plain terms of the settlement agreement and fundamental tenets of contract law, removal from the United States of a class member, including but not limited to Christian, without a final determination on the merits of USCIS on the class member's pending asylum application violates the settlement agreement, she said. She also granted a temporary restraining order to another member of the class, a 18-year-old referred to as Javier, whom counsel for the group said was in imminent danger of being deported this month. Gallagher agreed that Javier was covered by the settlement with the government and blocked his removal from the United States. So we basically have a bunch of judges sticking up for illegal aliens, even when they have a criminal rap sheet that includes possession of cocaine, selling cocaine, MS-13. I mean, all of them. They can hang out in the United States for years or decades until their process their whole claim is properly adjudicated. How about not? How about these judges? They just stop. I think these judges should just stop. It's getting ridiculous. I think the Americans' view of judges has never been lower. I mean, that's how I feel. What about Americans? Okay. Why is everything so spotlighted on these illegal aliens? Why are you sticking up so much for illegal aliens? It makes no sense. I understand you got to follow this process of law, but they're kind of bringing it to the extreme where they're ordering Donald Trump to bring back an alien, bring back an illegal alien. And when you think about what that all entails, it's like they're essentially trying to tell Donald Trump how to run his foreign policy. This illegal alien is already in El Salvador, where his home is. How can Donald Trump just bring him back? The government of El Salvador has to agree to it. And the government of El Salvador is never going to agree to it. So this is never going to go anywhere. And then they're going to write headlines that Donald Trump is ignoring another court order. And it's just going to be a lie. And this is why I really think that they're doing this. They're doing this for politics, for headlines. And, these judges, they should know better. They're Trump appointed judges. But apparently Donald Trump makes mistakes every now and then. No one's immune from mistakes. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of all these judges ordering Donald Trump around how to do his job? Donald Trump has a mandate. The American people want these illegals gone. These judges are standing in the way. What do you think about all this? Let me know down below what you think. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.